And we back. All right, today I wanted to trade every team starting five. This is gonna be definitely a ton of trades today, but I want to reformulate the entire NBA randomly, and trading every team starting five is the best way to do it. We've done videos where we traded the best player on the team, and that even broke the game. So I can imagine if we're doing like a 5 trade minimum on every team. There are some rules though. We're gonna have a random number generator as we usually do with videos like this. And the second thing is I'm only trading players from the original team. Hypothetically, if we trade Joel Embiid to the Orlando Magic, once we get to the Orlando Magic, we don't have to trade Joel Embiid again. He might get thrown into another trade, but you understand that? Cool. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get the trade. In this, we turned off salary cap and financial trade rules, so we might be able to do trades that, you know what I'm saying, just a little bit better. Starting off with Joel Embiid, he has 28 offers. You can see the first offer right there. You know what I'm saying? Again, we've done videos where we trade the best players, so this is no surprise. We're doing trade number 16, and that is for Kevin Durant and Andre Drummond. Just like that, KD has switched teams. Everybody accepts. Now that I think about this, there's 30 teams in the NBA, 5 starters per team. We're doing a lot of trades. The math won't work in my brain. A lot of trades. Oh, we got to get these guys away from each other. You know what I'm saying? They were teammates for a minute and they decided they want to go different ways. And now they also have Giannis. You can see how crazy things can get in a matter of 2 trades. They have Giannis and KD on the team. And you're asking me what's considered a starter. I'm doing it by my own accord. There's 29 different offers here again, and one of them is to get back James Harden, but instead they're doing trade number 13, and trade number 13 is going to give them Russell Westbrook and Malik Monk. So, just like that, Russell Westbrook and KD are back together, and I think their original starting 5 has been traded. All of these dudes, Matisse Thybulle was the last piece to fall, Matisse Thybulle. And just like that, they have a brand new starting 5. Now, the pieces won't always match up perfectly. You're going to have some teams that have 6 small forwards. It's just the way of the land. This is what you signed up for when you decided to do this challenge. Now, we'll do trade number 19 here, and that is for Herb Jones, one defensive monster for another. And just like that, we got it. All right, new starting 5 is Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Andre Drummond. I think these 2 are enough to carry this team, but their surrounding pieces are kind of mid. Now we move on to the Bucks. Now, we already traded Giannis, so we don't have to retrade James Harden. He might be safe, he might not be safe. We move on to Jrue Holiday, who I'm guessing is going to have 29 offers because a lot of players are going to have 29 offers, and we have to accept trade number 4, which is for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown. He went from one green team to another. This was coming off a championship. Now, I will not show you every single trade because as you can imagine, it's going to be a ton of them. I'm not showing you every single one, but I will show you the bigger ones. The ones that might impacting the league one way or another. Jamal Murray for Chris Middleton is trade number 2. And the last trade is Brook Lopez. They better hope they get another center in exchange for him. 29 offers again, and we're doing number 19 for him. And they get back Najee Marshall and Alizé Johnson. A terrible trade for the team that's trying to compete for a championship. They went from Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Jrue Holiday to James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Najee Marshall, Tobias Harris, and Serge Ibaka. But off the bench, Jamal Murray, I mean, there are some ways you can definitely finagle it. And you know what? I'm going to try to do my best to optimize every team. So we're throwing James back as shooting guard, Jalen as small forward, and now you can have all 3 of those players starting just like that. And then Toby can be the power forward, and now Serge. Now, this lineup looks dramatically different and a lot better than having Najee Marshall play 30 minutes a game. Next team is the Chicago Bulls. Damian Lillard for Zach LaVine in the first. Okay, right? Let me make sure that was trade number 27, right? Because you know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess things up. Damian Lillard's on the team, and you missed trade number 1 because it wasn't that crazy. We traded DeMar DeRozan, and we got back R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. I mean, last year, that would have been a crazy good trade. Second team All-NBA Julius Randle. This season, not so much. He's down to an 83, and now we trade Vooch. Vooch is getting traded for Michael Porter Jr. Okay, that's a little bit interesting. We're going to have to trade Lonzo. They need a center right here. They desperately need a center. You better hope the random number generator lands on the team with a center. And guess what? We got 2 in Bobby Portis and Andre Drummond. And those are the 5 starting Chicago Bulls players gone. Now you got Dame, Kobe White, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Bobby Portis. Off the bench, Drummond, Michael Porter Jr., Ayo Dosunmu. Not terrible. Might not even be a playoff team, though. Let's be honest. Next, we got the Cavaliers. This is what their star lineup looks like according to 2K. Kyrie Irving for Darius Garland and a pick. Kyrie is going back to Cleveland. I don't think that would be a warm response from the Cleveland Cavaliers fans after, you know, how it ended between Kyrie and that team. But regardless, he's back, baby. You got to accept it. And they're getting Chris Middleton and Vucevic. The Denver Nuggets have been incorporated in a ton of trades already. For us to only be 2.5 teams in, They've been around the block, and their team looks completely different, and we still ain't even traded Jokic just yet. Trade number 20 for Evan Mobley, one of the higher draft class guys, and you get the number 1 pick. Isaac Okoro's also in this trade, and he was a part of their starting lineup, so just like that, they got a brand new team, and it is Kyrie, K. Cunningham, Chris Middleton, Marvin Bagley, and Vucevic. Off the bench, you still got Karras, Kevin Love, Laurie Market, and Jetty Osman. But now we got Tatum, Rob Williams, Al Horford, and Marcus Smart. 4 players got to get traded. Jason Tatum, one of the bigger, best names in the league. Trade number 1 is for Kevin Durant. And they got to go trade number 7, and that's for Trae Young. Trigger Trae is in Boston now. And he's got Drew Holiday to help him be in that backcourt when it comes to the defense. So that's solid, maybe. It depends on what you get for these other 3 players. Every trade is going to look decent on paper. Not every, but a lot of trades going to look decent on papers. What are the other deals going to look like? Like, this is a bad trade. For us doing a 1-year challenge, this is a terrible trade. You gave Robert Williams away for literally nothing. Nothing that's going to impact your winning this season, because that's all we care about. But hey, you get OG Anunoby, because you used one of those first-round picks. And just like that, your new starting 5 is Trae Young and Drew Holiday in that backcourt. I'm going to make Drew Holiday a shooting guard because you need Drew Holiday started because he's your second-best player. OG Anunoby, Grant Williams, Bismack Biyombo. Off the bench, you still got Derek White, and you got Pat Connaughton, and yeah, yucky team. From the Celtics being as good as they are, they just got dramatically worse with just a few trades. Now, Kawhi, another one of the biggest names out there. There's only 26 offers for Kawhi, and he's got the 26, which is for Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis. Whoa. Okay. All right. This next trade matters a ton. What type of people are we putting around Brad and Porzingis? We're back to 29 offers on this one, and it's going to trade number 18. Trade number 18 is going to get them. Oh, they went young. Oh, tragic. New lineup is Tyrese, Bradley Beal, Bogdanovich, Jalen Smith, and Kristaps Porzingis. Off the bench, you got Dwayne Dedmon, Rui Hachimura. Clippers, I'm sorry. You caught an L right there. Next, Ja Morant, one of the best young players in the entire NBA. High flyer, superstar. And the 25th overall trade is for Shea. Now, that's funny. We talked about this on my other channel, Kenny For Real. You should be subscribed. But there's somebody out there, an NBA executive, a guy that works in the NBA, that said, hey, if you switch Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Ja Morant, the same things is going to be happening. Opportunity for them to switch, even though I guess the rest of the team is not going to be. Opportunity for them to switch, though. The new look Grizzlies, Shea, Giddey, OG Anunoby, Kyle Anderson, and Brandon Clark. Yeah, a lot of their trades were like nothing trades. They traded for Taurean Prince. They traded for Jeremiah Robinson Earl, and they traded for Cameron Payne. I'm sorry, that's just the way the random number generator had it. We already traded Trae Young, so now we trade Clint Capella, John Collins, and some other people. The new look Atlanta Hawks have DeLon Wright, Evan Fournier, Jason Tatum, Kyle Kuzma, and Nurkic. Yeah. Next, now that I'm thinking about it, more teams have left this worse than what they started with. You know what I'm saying? Most teams are worse today than when I started this challenge. Anthony Davis and LeBron are getting traded to Miami for Jimmy and Bam. Oh my God. Is that the biggest trade of the video? That's got to be the biggest trade of the video. It's got to be the biggest trade of the video. And Tyler Hero is here to stay because he's not a starter. Next, Kyle Lowry is though. Whoa, this is crazy. You're going to be able to keep Tyler Hero on the team too? Trade number 17 for Kyle Lowry. This could be the icing on the cake. Okay, you get 2 guards. I don't know if you really needed that. All right. Dang. I mean, having LeBron and AD is cool, but the Lakers right now have LeBron and AD. And I mean, they won them a championship a couple years ago, but at this point, this team better than the current Lakers team? Actually, probably a little bit. I don't know. Next, now we got the Hornets, LaMelo Ball. I know you've been so true to Charlotte since you got there, but you got to go, and you're going with trade number 12. You got some crazy value. So trade number 12 is for DeMar and Mitchell Robinson. I mean, yeah, you get an overall increase between DeMar DeRozan, but I don't think that was a great trade, especially when you said the trade number 1 had Giannis in it. You had DeMar, which is cool. He's an NBA player probably this season. But if you had the opportunity to get Giannis and you had to deal with that, not the greatest. And now we trading your second best player for Pat Connaughton, which is a wash. The new starting lineup is Isaiah Thomas. Shout out to IT. He followed me on Twitter yesterday, so that was a W. Pat Connaughton, DeMar DeRozan. Yep, team's bad. Team's really bad. They made a couple trades for young players. Some people are out there finessing for sure. The Utah Jazz have 4 players that we have to trade because we already traded Bogdanovich. Starting off with Donovan Mitchell. Trade number 22 is going to get them younger, I guess. Oh, not really. If you average out the ages, 31 and 19 is 50. 25 and 28 is over 50. So technically they did get younger. You know, the direction of the Utah Jazz is in limbo right now because they got Rudy Gobert, who's their best player, and he's almost 30, and then they just traded for Jalen Green. I don't really know what's going on. 29 offers, they're going number 14. That's a window card. Oh, now, no. They have embraced the tank. Your new starting lineup is Kyle Lowry, Jalen Green, Daniel House. It's icky, y'all. No team is like gonna dominate, right? We gonna go through every single team, obviously, once we get there. But right now, this feels like no team is gonna dominate because everybody's losing trades. There might be parity in the NBA. So we're going to trade number 17 here. That's for Jared Allen. All right, overalls are very similar. Play styles are a lot different, but overalls are similar. You got Chris Paul. Oh, Jared Allen and Chris Paul, the modern day DeAndre Jordan Chris Paul. There you have it. Chris Paul, Terrence Davis, Josh Jackson. Ugh. We made the Kings worse. Think about that. We just make the Kings worse. I'm sorry, Kings fans. You got Chris Paul, though. You got one of the greatest point guards of all time to root for. So in this one, we have to trade, nobody. Wait, we already, they got the 4 point guards as their top 5 players. I guess we can count Kemba as a starter, even though he doesn't start for them anymore. I'm going to count Kemba as a starter for the Knicks because they need another trade. Now, this trade's not about to blow your mind because he's only a 78 overall, but they needed something. Give them some wing depth. There it is, Stanley Johnson. All the wing depth you need, New York. Your team is trash. My apologies. You know what? I'm gonna stop apologizing. It's not me. It's the random number generator. They're the one that's doing the thing. They don't have any trades to do. This is their team. Jimmy Bam, Maxey. Actually, show the starting lineup. Jimmy Bam, Maxey, Kemba, who just got traded here, Carmelo, and not a terrible starting lineup. You still got Kendrick Nunn and Dwight Howard and Horton Tucker and P. Millie. I think the longer we get into the video, the less amount of trades we have to do. Now, this team has like 3 or 4 trades. Franz Wagner is one of the best rookies in his class, so I'm guessing his trade value going to be 3.5 star to 4.5 star value. So he might be able to 3.5 star. Okay, so he might be able to get you something nice. Trade number 3 is Patrick Williams. Okay, all right, P. Willie. All right, we didn't classify him as a starter because he hasn't started since like the first 6 games of the season or whatever, but now he's in Orlando. Oh, this is a huge trade. This is a huge trade for this video. We were talking about how the Lakers didn't look too bad. They're getting finessed. Bam and Tyrese Maxey are coming to this team. And now, how do we run this? How do we run this for their sake? I think Tyrese Maxey is a point guard. Bam is a power forward. John Isaac is a small forward. And then, yeah, this is what their new team looks like. Finessed. Tyrese Maxey, Gary Harris, John Isaac, Bam, and Rudy Gobert. First of all, this 3 right here is going to cause so much havoc. The bench is bad. They got so much center/big man play. But that was one of the biggest finesses of the video. For sure. Now, this team got a lot of trades to do, actually. The Mavericks have not done a single trade this video, huh? One of the few teams we haven't landed on at all. And now we get the Luka trade. There's only 28 offers for Luka. There's one team out there that didn't want to throw their name in a hat. 24 is the one we're doing. It's for Ja. OKC lost Ja, but got Luka. That first round pick was like expeditiously, ridiculously good. New team is Ja Morant, Gary Payton II. Josh Green is still here, but they traded for Patrick Williams and they traded for Kevin Love. Bad team. Next, the Brooklyn Nets. We already did the Kyrie. No. Wait, did Kyrie get traded where? Oh, to Cleveland. Oh, snap. This team has potential, bro. Ben Simmons has to get flipped again for the second time in his career. Second time this month, basically. He got to get flipped to trade number 25, which is for Desmond Bane. I like Desmond Bane a lot. I thought they was going to be able to get a superstar / close to superstar. They were not. Seth Curry has to get moved as well, and I think that's pretty much it. New team is Garland, Bane, Harris, Draymond, and Joel. Yo, this team is pretty good. This team might be my, again, we're going to do a recap once the end of it. This team fits. I believe this team is going to be really nice. Now, the bench is kind of weird because you got a lot of centers, but the starting 5 fits more than a lot of the starting 5s we randomly put together. I like that team. Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Will Barton are the three that have to get traded. Starting off with Jokic. Drum roll, please, because we're trading for number 22, and number 22 is getting you Donovan Mitchell and Christian Wood from the Houston Rockets. Jokic is in Texas, y'all. New team is John Wall, Donovan Mitchell, Austin Rivers, Wendell Carter. Oh, you can't really finagle this because Mike Conley is such a small guard at 6'1". Donovan Mitchell is 6'1". John Wall is 6'3". None of them is going to be able to play that small forward position. So Mike Conley and Christian Wood might be the best bench duo in the entire NBA. But they still got some star talent in there. You know what I'm saying? They still going to be all right, I think. I didn't realize that Paul George was back in Indiana. That's kind of a dub. But they got a few people that need to be traded away. And Malcolm Brogdon is one of them. And Malcolm Brogdon's going to trade it for trade number 17. Trade number 17 is going to get them Darius Garland. We were just talking about how the Brooklyn Nets didn't look too bad. And now, I mean, Malcolm Brogdon is a good player for sure. But he won Darius Garland, who's an all-star. You feel me? And he plays the shooting guard, even though he can be a facilitator too. But he plays the shooting guard. New team is Darius Garland, Lance Stevenson, Paul George, Gordon Hayward, and Dwight Howard. Now that I'm looking at this team has a Victor Oladipo, who's an all-star and most improved player. You got Paul George, who was an all-star, most improved player back in Indiana. Both of them are back in Indiana, y'all. Not a terrible team, I don't think. They're, of course, missing some power forward minutes. They got literally 0, but we move on. We got to move on to the very next. We're almost done here, though. The Pelicans, Zion, their whole lineup, basically. They made one trade. That was for Brook Lopez, but other than that, this is the exact same team. And we got to start off with Z. Trade number 8 for Z is Tatum and Kuzma. Oh, they're trading away 2 of their starters. They're two of their top 3 starters are gone. Now it's just Brandon Ingram, and I got hair in my eye. I can barely see. The new look Pelicans, Anthony Simon, Jalen Green, Jason Tatum. When did Jason Tatum get here? Did that just happen and I didn't even realize? Jason Tatum, John Collins, and Brook Lopez. When did Jason Tatum get here? Right. Okay. That was a trade for Zion. Okay, that makes sense. But wow, that's not a terrible lineup if you ask me. The bench has Kuzma, Matisse Thybulle, Larry Nance Jr. and Jackson Hayes. That's not a bad team. I can say that, right? I can say that, but also realize that that's probably not what their team's going to look like because we still got like 5 more teams that we got to get through with trades, and we're going to land on the Pelicans again. It's just inevitable. Kyle Lowry, Isaac Okoro, Cam Reddish, Evan Mobley, and Kelly Olynyk. Off the bench, D Rose is back, so that's interesting, but not a lot going on in Detroit. Other than Kyle Lowry being there, this is a super, super young team. Super young team. They thinking about 3 years in the future. We're not going to be here for that. This team has one trait. That's Marcus Smart. Okay, I guess there are a few teams that we weren't able to land on. And the Raptors are one team we haven't landed on just yet. So they got a full roster to trade with. Starting off with trading Fred VanVleet for Hal Neto. Yeah, Hal Neto. All-Star Freddie for Hal Neto. In the pick for sure. But Hal Neto was the centerpiece of this trade. Now we'll go to 27, which is going to be for Jonas Valanciunas. They're not winning these trades right now. I'll say that. They're 2 trades in, and they're not winning. Another young rookie. Ooh, one of them is Kevin Durant. Trade number 4 is for Kyrie Irving. Okay, that's something. That's something if you're trying to compete now. But every other trade you did is anti that. So it doesn't really matter. Kyrie, Marcus Smart, Laurie Marketing, Thaddeus Young, they're back together, and Kim Birch. Not a team. Not a team I'm worried about whatsoever if I'm an opposing GM. I'm just being honest. All right, so the Rockets already made a lot of trades. They still got Jay Shunte, Kevin Porter Jr., and I guess Eric Gordon. Those would be the 3 players we classify, I guess. New team, Jokic. I'm sorry, my boy. You kind of in that thing by yourself, my boy. I can't even lie to you. Move on, DeJounte Murray, Jakob, and I guess that's it. I mean, they have so many wing players. I don't know who classifies the official starter. We already traded Keldon and all of that, so it's just like DeJounte and Pirtle at this point. DeJounte being an all-star is the biggest pool here, and that's trade number 14, and they get finessed. The Lakers come up a little bit, so shout out to the Lakers for finally doing something right in this video, and I guess it's kind of it because they were in a trade together. So it's Trey Jones, Jalen Suggs, DeAndre Hunter, Gallinari. We objectively made the league 10 times worse. There's no team out here that are like, that's a raw team. It's not a lot of them, bro. It's not a lot of them. And now we're going to trade number 7 for Devin Booker. That's for Shea and Josh Giddey from Memphis. Okay, we'll see where that gets us. We got 2 other starters to trade here. I guess 3 because Jay Crowder's a starter. 3 other starters. DeAndre Ayton, another high overall player. Trade number 2 is getting them James Harden. Okay, hold on. James Harden is here. They might be on to a little some. Let's figure it out. They tanked it with this one. They traded Mikal Bridges for Chris Duarte. And then the last starter that needs to be traded is Jay Crowder. And with Jay Crowder's 29, we're going to 24. And that's going to be for Keita Bates-Diop, which might be the best trade of the entire video. But the new starting lineup is Shea and Harden. You got De'Aaron too, though. And you got Giddey. Ugh. Shea, are you running? I guess Shea is running the 3 because he's 6'6". Luka, Colin Sexton, TJ Warren, Ben Simmons, Derek Favors. John Isaac coming off the bench. OKC did decent, I think. I think they did okay. Will they be a playoff team? I don't think so, but I think they did okay, all things considered. So this is another team we have not landed on much. We only got 1 trade here, and that's for Dylan Brooks. But this is pretty much the same team. Cat just dropped 60 a couple nights ago. Let's see what type of trade value you got. 29 offers. Trade number 10 is the one we're doing for Cat, and that's going to give them DeMar DeRozan and Montrezl Harrell. Okay. I mean, you increase overall. You got Anthony Edwards here, who should bring also great value as a former first overall pick that be hooping. 23. And that's going to get you Jokic. Okay. Hold on, Minnesota. Jokic, DeMar DeRozan, and you got like V8 and Patrick Beverley to get traded next. You got 2 90 overall players. You got 2 of them. If you could just get the right pieces around them, trade number 21, the right piece around. You fumbled the bag. You fumbled the bag, Minnesota. Oh, I'm so disappointed. You were very, very close. And now you traded for 71 overall, Killian Hayes. And then this one's going to be a bad trade too. I feel it in my bones. Yep. You had it. You got a superstar duo though. So that's interesting. The rest of the team is just trash. New look Trailblazers. Eric Bledsoe, Zach LaVine, Joe Ingles, Otto Porter, and Pascal Siakam. They got Jordan Poole, Kevon Looney, and Vontae Graham coming off the bench. But again, another team that suffered, if you ask me. I mean, they didn't have a lot to work with anyway. But now we got Wiggs, we got Steph, we got Clay, and that's it because we just saw the other trade. Steph Curry. Ooh, Steph Curry, come on. Trade number 29 for Kawhi and Fred Van. That is a beautiful trade for the Warriors. Don't fumble it. You got 2 more trades. Either Wiggs or Clay has to get traded for a bid. Wiggs or Clay has to get traded for a bid. Trade number 3, okay. Michael Porter Jr., all right. That's not terrible. It's an overall decrease, but it's not terrible. You need a center. You need to get a center right here. Klay Thompson. It's going to have 29 offers. And that's the wrong button. And with the 29 offers, it's number 1. And they're too guard heavy. That's the downside. They're too guard heavy. Fred VanVleet, Terry Rozier, Kawhi, Jonathan Kuminga. You know what? I think they can pull it off. They got 2 of the Porter Juniors on the same team. I think they can pull it off. Might be one of my sleepers for sure. With Kawhi and Freddie, last time Kawhi and Freddie played on the same team, they won a championship. So it might be doable one more time. So this is the last team. And I don't think we have to. Oh, KCP, I guess. Because now Gafford comes off the bench because Porzingis is there. So I guess KCP is the last trade of the video, y'all. Trade number 4 for KCP, and it's going to be for Dylan Windler. So that's an L. That's an L. And now it's Steph Curry, Dylan Windler, Corey Kispert, Miles Turner, and Clint Capella with Cole Anthony coming off the bench with Daniel Gafford. All right, y'all. So we just made a ton of trades. My job right now, real quick, is to go through every single team and try to figure out if their lineup is optimized, and then we'll be back. All right, so I went through every team a couple times, and some of them might be a little hit or miss, but look, this is what the team looks like. I'm not reading every single lineup, but this 76er lineup looks elite. Lonzo, Klay Thompson, KD, Giannis, and LaMarcus with Herb Jones coming off the bench. That's got to be the favorite to win it all. Team number 2, the Bucks aren't bad either with Jamal Murray, Jaylen Brown, Tobias, and DeAndre Ayton as their top 4. And then the Bulls aren't terrible either. We just changed it, so RJ is now a shooting guard, so he'll be starting over Kobe White, and now Wiggs, all-star Wiggs, and going to the starting lineup. And then, yeah, so at the top here, the first couple teams, you can make arguments for. But the deeper we go into this, you're like, bro, what's going on here? There's some teams you're like, man, we really screwed them up. We really screwed them over. And, hey, I mean, when I say we, I'm talking about the random number generator exclusively. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I done had nothing to do. If your favorite team fell off a cliff, it wasn't. Look at this team. How is this team supposed to win more than 17 games? How? How are they supposed to? You know what I'm saying? Some teams are like that. And I guess we get to simulate it, man. I guess we get to simulate it. I'm going to go to the All-Star draft because I'm curious to see if somebody who normally isn't an All-Star going to make the list. All-Star draft. Let's get to it. We got Team Jokic and Team Bron. And first-time All-Star Ja Morant. Sabonis is back. Kristaps is back for the first time since being in New York. LaMelo is here. But everybody else has been like a premier All-Star. Worst team in the league, my guess, is the Spurs. And I would be 11 wins. I would be correct. The Houston Rockets are up there too. At one point they had Jokic, but they traded Jokic for Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell. So now they ain't got that. You know, this team was tanking from the very beginning. The best team in the league is the Denver Nuggets, or the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, Denver Nuggets. They got some depth there for sure. But OKC, I told you, OKC might be sneaky good, especially because Luka is a demon. He's averaging a 30-point triple-double this season. But the real winner of it all, so far, exactly who we thought it was going to be. Exactly who we thought it was going to be. The real winner of it all. 50 games in, the real winner of it all. And 18-point differential. This looks like a team that we would build in the video, right? We might have upgraded LaMarcus a little bit, but this looks like a team that we would have built in the video for sure. And I think they got to be the heavy favorite with only 6 losses at the All-Star draft. This makes sense to me. Giannis wins MVP. Cade wins Rookie of the Year. Vucevic is 6th Man of the Year. The Cavs taking home awards. Giannis Defensive Player of the Year. Ja Morant is most improved. He jumped up to 36 points per game. Insane. And they were 70-12, y'all. They were 70-12. Woo! All right, do your thing. All-NBA first team sees Ja, Luka, Giannis, Bron, and Joel. Second team is here. Third team is there. No super surprises. Defensive teams y'all care about? Nerlens Noel being there? I mean, he's a starting center in this simulation right now. So, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get his love. All right. Quick around the league before we start simulating and figure out which team is about to be crowned champions. I have an idea. They're on a 16-game win streak currently, but it's the playoffs and anything can happen once we hit the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Out west, the number 1 seed ended up being Denver. All right. What team is the hottest going into the playoffs? It is Denver, actually. 3-game win streak. Tied with Dallas. Dallas got Ja, who averaged 36. They also started Frank Ntilikina, which is, if one thing we can agree on, Frank Ntilikina starting on a playoff team is interesting. He averaged 7 and 2 and 2, and his shooting splits wasn't terrible. Shout out to Frank Ntilikina. You got it, my boy. Out east. I mean, we might see a clean sweep, bro. This team won 6 games in a row to steal a play-in spot. Great story right there. Who's on your team? Jamal Murray, Jaylen Brown. Oh, I thought this team was going to be better than just a play-in team. But nope. The Bulls, also a play-in team. They decided to keep Wiggs off the bench. He averaged 12. Kawhi averaged a little less than that. So I guess it didn't matter too much. 21-game losing streak. 21-game losing streak. Mega tank job here. Wait, this roster lost 21 straight? Like, it's not a good roster. But you would have guessed that Trae Young is going to win you a game. You know what I'm saying? At least 1 out of 21 of them. That's one of the craziest losing streaks we've ever seen. And, I mean, this team must have went on a crazy losing streak to only win 18. But, like, not a 21-game losing streak. All right, play-in games are over. The Clippers, Bulls, Warriors, and Nets all get eliminated. All right, let's get to the second round. Will we get any good series around here? Any good series? I'm trying to see some upsets, and, well, the number 1 seed in the entire thing is that, oh, we got upsets, though. Out west, we got upsets. Every single lower seed won except for the 1 seed advancing. So that's interesting. But, yeah, this team right here, I don't see anybody beating this team. This team might 16-0 the bracket. Wait a minute. Wait, they not going 16-0. Are they going to fight back? It looked like they might fight back. And win this series. They did. Hey, but they lost home court advantage, and I bet they fans was freaking out. We got a game 7, though. I don't know who's on each team anymore, but we got a game 7 between these two, and it's relatively close. It's not close anymore. Who had the big game here? In a game 7 with the Atlanta Hawks, CJ and Zion look good together, man. Zion averaged at 29 in the playoffs. CJ averaging about 29 in the playoffs as well. And we got a 1-2 and a 1-6. Okay. I don't think anybody's messing with that team. 2-1. 2-2s on both sides. 3-2. Yep. The 6-seeded Memphis Grizzlies all the way to the finals with Tyus Jones as his starting point guard. Tyus Jones, Devin Booker, OG, Kyle Anderson. That's not an amazingly good team. Devin Booker about to be averaging like 40. Oh, it's not averaging 40, but he's putting up 40 every once in a while. Can they cause an absolute upset? The answer is probably not. Yeah. I had a feeling. They had no like bad players in their rotation. You can make an argument DeAndre Jordan is bad, but like maybe one player that's bad in their entire rotation, while other teams were playing a couple not so great players. The random number generator is king. Nobody beats it. Nobody at all. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.